Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today's date, it is September 23rd of 2023, and it's about 6:30 a.m. in the morning. Not sure exactly what this is going to be about, this video, but, well, sort of, I have a little bit of an idea. Um, I I don't remember if I purchased this item or if it was one of the items that I years back I did YouTube, no, Amazon reviews. The way that started, um, well, I had my doctor's appointment. I go about every 6 months. Yeah, sometimes I make it long, and I should make sure I just go every 6 months. But I went to the doctor, and the doctor was talking about blood pressure and all this kind of stuff, and recommended that I use compression socks. And so I went to Amazon and ordered some compression socks, and they came in, and I used them, and then I did a review. I'd never done a review on Amazon. I'm not sure. I guess before I would buy something, I would probably always, go and check. But anyway, I wrote a review on Amazon, and then the company contacted. Oh, now one of the things I put in there was, that I'd gone to my doctor and he recommended So I think that probably helped. So anyway, I wrote the review, and then I got a email from the company saying thank you very much for the review that you did about our compression socks, and we really appreciate it. And please tell us, what size, and we're going to send you some, extra one for free, some socks. So I did, and I got them, and so then that's sort of like, oh, okay. So then I think the next time that I maybe, purchased something or whatever, I did a little review. Before long, I must have done 1,000 or two reviews on, and most of them had a video going, which was kind of unusual at that time. Had a video with it, and I got tons of stuff. You name something. I I gave almost all of it away to neighbors. Uh, uh, Now I kept a couple, well, more than that. I kept three or four, uh, the aluminum uh, tactical lights, that you use that are really bright, but then you can also use it as a weapon if you have to hit somebody or something. Ended up keeping a couple of those for myself, and I got in. I don't know how many. Maybe I'm going to guess about 10. And I gave, there's two maintenance guys that work here at this apartment complex. I gave each of them, one. One of the guys, I asked him later, and he said that he had lost his or something like that, so I gave him another one. And I think then I just gave another one to the other guy, so I think I'm down to one. Well, anyway, getting ahead of myself. So I did a bunch of reviews, a bunch, and I moved up in the list, of you know reviewers. As you do reviews and as you get positive comments, all that kind of stuff, I moved up in the list. Now I can't remember on this pot if I got it. I don't think I did. I think I actually paid for this one. I guess I could go look in the orders. Well, it doesn't matter. But I moved up in the list. Now there's one of the, and I can't remember the name of it now, one of the major producers of networking uh, hardware. Uh, I'd seen, the products that they made, and they were expensive, very expensive. It was for setting up, not just like a little home thing. This is like if you had a business or something. They contacted me. See, I didn't contact any of them. I was always contacted by them at their initiative, and they sent me a complete, all that, networking hubs. All those kind of stuff. Wow. Um, and I reviewed that. I didn't do a very good job on reviewing it because that was really over my head. Um, but I sold that, and I forget how much I got. Not a not a lot, but but I got because I didn't try to. I just moved it out. Um, so I was just doing, and I was moving up in the list. Now what happened is somebody in China, apparently, I'm guessing at this, somebody in China, well, it seemed like all the people were selling it. They were all in China, by the way. And but anyway, somebody over there, I started getting things saying, from China. Oh, would you please, a lot of times misspelled, a lot of times, uh, would you, review we'll send you for free our product, and will you review it? And because you're like the number one Amazon reviewer. Well, I wasn't. Somebody over there, at first I thought, okay, first I was, okay, wow, where is it? How's this happening? And then I figured out one or more people over there in China, I guess they had tried to sell something and maybe it didn't go well for them, on Amazon. Uh, Somebody was putting out a list, which is smart of them, put out a list that's probably available online or actually in printed form, and they might have taken it around to the various places, and saying, here are the top Amazon reviewers, the top 50 or something like that. And I was on the list, which, I didn't deserve to be. There was a lot of people. And also, Amazon has people that they pay. In fact, I may not be exactly right on this. Let's say, that you have a computer or you have a refrigerator or a stove or some product, and what you do, well, if you want to sell it, I don't know exactly the rules, but if you want to sell, let's say, a television set, and so you contact, Amazon, hey, we've got this Howard TV or something, a television set, and then Amazon has some rules. Okay, if you're going to sell that here, you have to send, and I don't know how many exactly, we have 10 reviewers. Those are ones that, they have a connection, a real connection with Amazon. I guess they are salaried or something. And so, say it's a refrigerator, something big, okay, well, you'll need to send 10 of those to people that we choose, and then if they approve them or whatever, then you can sell. And so the person who gets them, is getting money from Amazon and is also getting, whatever it is, a television set, a computer, or whatever. Now, how you get to be one of those people, I don't know. I guess one would be to make fantastic reviews. Doing a really good job. So that's something that some people, because later on when I got kicked off of being able to do Amazon reviews, which I was happy at that point, because it was work. and I've got a mosquito in here flying around. I think it is. Um, I mean, it was work. I mean, full time I was doing that, and then I was also, of course, which all of the people are. You're getting hit by people from China mainly saying, "Oh, Mr. Howard, you're just the greatest reviewer on Amazon. Please, would you review our item?" And you know, some of them would say, and give me, 5 stars, whatever, and that type of stuff. Sometimes they would offer money, but I don't think many of them had money. Sometimes they'd offer money. Of course, you're not supposed to do it, and I didn't ever take any money from anybody. And I also deleted a whole bunch of things. Sometimes these people would send out something that everything that they were copying it to like 100 people, saying, "Hey, hey, would you review our product?" Of course, a copy was going to, Amazon, or people, reviewers were probably sending it to Amazon, saying, "Hey, these people are demanding, for me to review their product that I, give them 5 stars, which is a no-no, And I mean, if you're doing it for that reason, if a product deserves 5 stars, So anyway, I was moving up in the list, and I figured out that's what's going on. Somebody over there is very smart. I'm sure more than one. China's a big country with states, what we would call states, I guess, or whatever, and they speak their own language in that state, And the people that are in whatever the main part of China is, they don't even understand a lot of times those other dialects and things. So a massive thing. So how did I get on this subject? Oh, I guess. I was doing these reviews and doing it appropriately. Well, I'm going to get at a point where you're going to say, no, that's not appropriate, because it came up eventually. I brought it up online, and bang, I got a bunch of hatred from my people, There were all kinds of complaints, not involving me, but other people who are doing reviews, because some, I'm sure, were taking money, some were doing all kinds of deals. You just know that's going to happen, So what happened, of course, is these people they're becoming more and more like, hey, they're trying to sell their products. And I saw right away that they were convinced, these young people in China, and they may have tried other things, and they were convinced that if you did not get 5 stars, then you were dead. You might as well go out and hang yourself. I mean, that's the sort of, they didn't say that, but that was a philosophy. You have to give me 5 stars or whatever. Of course, anybody that said you have to give me 5 stars, I just didn't do do a review for them, that type of stuff. But so finally, I just started telling them, hey, I'll do a review for you, but I'm going to give you what you deserve. I'm not giving you 5 stars unless the product deserves it, and the service and all that type of stuff. And a lot of them would say, okay, well then, disregard. Some of them would say, well, okay, we got a great product here or something. Well, it wouldn't be a great product. Now, sometimes a lot of these things were really inexpensive. I mean, really cheaply, made. So I'd give them like 4 stars or something because of the price, because it was like less than $5 or something. It was really a good deal or whatever, and I'd put that in the review, that well, this is a great product for it's only $5 or only $10. I put that in there, But I wasn't giving them 5 stars, uh, unless it deserved 5 stars. But I would, so anyway, when these people would, you know, send me something to review for free, uh, I'd say now, I, I if the product, if I can't give it 5 stars, I said I'll give it, 4 stars or whatever it deserves. And I said, but if you don't want me to do the review, then I won't. And they'd say, yeah, okay, do that. So then the product would maybe be something I'd give 4 stars to, and I'd contact them and say, no, I could only give you 4 stars. And they'd say, oh, please don't do a review, period. And I said, okay, fine. So now there was a lot of shenanigans, I'm sure, and I wasn't involved in any of those, anything like that. I just wouldn't do that. Why? Reviews that I did, like one of the things I got for the first time was for free, to review. I still have it, electronic scale, battery operated, just to weigh myself or whatever. Before I'd had the one like we most had in the old days, and I'd have to like, is that on, whatever. And so I did a review on that, and something like that, or products like that, I would go back, something that I reviewed a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. If I updated the battery on it, because the battery would die after like a year or something, I would go and update. I'd go back and update my review. Once I did the review. If not, I couldn't do it. You wouldn't do that with everything, but I'd go back and do that. So I think I was doing a really fantastic job. But then I mentioned in there, because Amazon was cracking down on, because they were seeing that these people were sending, emails and things saying, hey, give me 5 stars, and then whatever kind of a deal they were offering. I mean, it was always like, we'll give you this thing, you review it, and you get to keep it, And that was understood. Everybody, I think, well, maybe not everybody. People are a lot of dumb people, But so anyway, Amazon was being really, letting people know, hey, you can't do this and you can't do that. And so then I commented. I did a YouTube video, probably several, on that whole thing, on the problem of, doing that kind of stuff. And so then some of you, left a comment. Well, because I explained it. I said, okay, if somebody is a young Chinese person, desperate, want to sell things on Amazon, and they're convinced that if there was one negative comment, if you didn't get 5 stars, that their life was over and they were ruined and destroyed. And I said, those people, I tell them, hey, I can't guarantee that I'm going to give you 5 stars. I said, but what I can tell you is, if I can't give you 5 stars for the review, I'll contact you and ask you if it's okay, that you're getting 4 stars or something like that. And they would say, well, if you can't give me 5 stars, and just keep the product, but don't give me bad, because it would destroy me. My life would be over, and all that kind of stuff. So I posted, like I do, YouTube things, and then all of you, I think, that commented said, and if you put it in the terms of being, well, that's dishonest, and I said, no, it's not. I'm not posting, somebody's not sending me a product and it's only like worth 4 stars, and I'm not saying, that it is worth 5 stars, I'm telling them, hey, and then they have a choice. Do they not want me to review the thing? Or are they willing for me to review it for whatever it is, 4 or 5 stars, 4 stars or 3 stars or something, whatever it was. And a lot of them would say, oh no, oh please don't, just just don't review it. And I posted that. I'm sitting here, and then people, people who go to my YouTube site are saying that's dishonest. That's this. No, it's not. Eventually, I don't know if some of those people, or if, because Amazon was doing this, that was a problem for them. Which I get in that point where I thought, wait a minute, Amazon pays people, actually pays X number of people. I don't know if it's, uh, 100 or if it's 200 or exactly what that number is, but they actually pay them money every time they review something. Amazon, they're getting maybe so much a month or whatever. And the reason for that is that Amazon want to make, like for a refrigerator or a TV set, or they want it so, and then they have to send out, I don't know how many, I'm guessing, because maybe that would be a lot of money, only big bit, but, so I was guessing, and still guessing, I don't know, that there's people, and I forget what they call them on Amazon. There's a special name for for them. And so I thought, now wait a minute, when these people were up, or when I guess I get, well, anyway, I thought, okay, how many YouTubers or how many Amazon people really know that there are X number of people working for Amazon? Not at the factory, not at the, I'm sure they're working from home, who are having a refrigerator sent to them, I don't know how big of, the major products being sent to them, and then they review it, and they're paid by Amazon, and then they also get the product, because that's part of the deal. You want to sell these products, so you have to give it to these, and here's the list of people. Now, they're not picking somebody like you or me. They're picking these people who undoubtedly they probably started out, and then Amazon probably, oh, that person, really is doing a good thing, and, good review and the whole thing. But I thought, but anyway, I defended myself a little bit on the thing, and then somebody, one of you, said, Jim, and it was like, I don't know, 1,000 or more, a ton of reviews that I had done, and they said, Jim, what happened to all the reviews you did? I like checking those out. They're all gone. And so I went and checked. Yep, they were all gone, every one of them. And I never was contacted. Okay, I was never contacted by Amazon saying, we have some suspicions about and let us know here, these are our rules, or whatever. Never got anything like that. I never got a thing said, we're checking on you. I never got a thing saying, we're going to delete all of your things. Would you like to download them? I would have loved to download them, because I could have put them on, on YouTube. Because most of the ones I did had a video, which was kind of unusual back in the beginning. So, bang, everything was gone. And so that was fine with me, because I was tired, because I had reviewed, I bet you 15 headsets, and I still have one. All the others I gave away. 15 headsets, tactical lights. I liked those. I kept a couple of them down to one now. Then my son has it in his room, so I don't even have one now. But things like that. But now, of course, Amazon has changed things. No, wait a minute. Is it Amazon or is it YouTube? No, it's Amazon. So, well, let me show you. Is this it? Let's see. No, that's not it. That's not it. Well, okay, so here is a list that's on Amazon. and I can give you the link to it. You'll find the link below someplace or whatever. These are items that are on my wish list that I would, if somebody wants to buy me something, they can. And then I can also have, let's see, where would that be? Okay, these are things from the wish list. There's other lists that I and you are able to have. And with the reviews, so they've sort of changed the way they're doing things. My problem with Amazon is they should have notified me, and I wouldn't be the only one, should have been notified. We think there's a problem. I should have been, I think, asked, hey, we think there's a problem with your things, your reviews, and check the box below. Check the box. Number one, I understand that under no circumstances can I do the following. And if they wanted to put there, I cannot tell somebody that I will not post a review if they're not going to get 5 stars or something like. In which case, I would have stopped doing Amazon. I would have stopped doing reviews for these people. If that was the case, if I had to take their product and then it wasn't up to snuff, it wasn't up to 5 stars or whatever, and the only choice I had was to give them 3 stars or something, and they would probably, there's my son. I'm making a YouTube video. You want to say anything? I guess not. Just getting his Coke. See you later. Close the door, please. So anyway, that my problem with, but then Amazon has it changed the way, but I really would like to have had, because I put a tremendous amount of work into those YouTube reviews that I did, and I wish they'd at least contact me once saying we're going to, in 30 days we're going to remove these or whatever, or if they did just contact me and said, hey, we're going to review these or remove them, and you have 7 days, and here's the click, here's where you can download all of that material. So I'm pissed about that. I've got something, let's see. I'm not being sent this, I'm going to purchase this because our phone system, the wireless phone, I use my cell phone, but we do have we don't right now because it broke for some reason. Why, I don't know. Well, oh wait a minute, well, yeah, my son, forgot about him. So one of them turned out being, broke. I mean broke. Plastic broke on it, and then I could see that there was, it was laying next to the kitchen sink with the 2 batteries out of it and with the back off of it laying next to it, and I could look underneath the screen there and see where water had come in or whatever. And my grown son had decided to wait later when I complained, a couple of days later about, he said, well, he dropped it in the toilet. And I don't know whether that's correct or not, that he did. But so I'm going to buy a cheap set. What's weird is, though, okay, well, I've been living here, I think 12 years or 14 years. And Darlene has lived, she lived in the apartment next door for 22 years here. And so I ended up buying them, wireless phones or whatever. And then when she moved in here, I wasn't even using the wireless phones. I got a, what is it, Motorola, or I forget it. I should remember, but and so she wanted her old set, and I said, "This is the same product, except it's the upgrade." No, she wants her old ones. They look identical, except the newer improved a little bit. So I said, okay. So I put the other ones, left them in the box, and used hers. Okay, well, our son broke one of them and all kinds of stuff. So they're, I think they've already gone to the trash. Maybe not. Maybe I put them up on the thing in case I need a part or something. And then hooked up the stuff that I'd had sitting on the shelf. And the batteries, I think, were dead on it. I think that's what's wrong with it. So I'm going to order this, and I'm going to order it, a very cheap one. So I'm going to be ordering that. Okay, now let's see. Nope, 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 nope. This. Okay, and there was something before this that I ordered. You'll find the review for that item. I forget what it was. It's something like this. And at that time, the other item, at that time, I was living here alone. And so the living room was, because I just walked on the carpeting. There was no sofa or anything in the living room. And the kitchen was spotless. The apartment manager here would, when an insurance company or something wanted to see, a sample of what the, whatever it was, she would bring them over here to see, because the place looked, others looked lived in. I guess my room looked lived in a little bit, and so she would bring them over here. Eventually, Darlene and my grown son moved in here. Oh my God! And two, they had a cat. They still have a cat. We have a cat. The office manager doesn't bring anybody. Well, I guess our place, I guess is probably no worse than half of the other places, I'm guessing. But there was a guy back several years ago, a married couple, down in this apartment building, and I think there's 8 apartments here. I think in this building, and I was told that he had terminal cancer and he didn't have very long. And so my son and we took down a complete. I didn't know they didn't have internet, but we took down, a computer, a nice one, and everything, monitor. I mean, everything except internet service, but it had solitary on it and that type of stuff. And he was, able to function then, but it wasn't very long, and he passed away. But how did I get on that subject? Oh, so I've seen a few other apartments here, and well, sometimes like in this building, the people on the end of the building, they have like at night, they have their shades up a lot, and I can't help but go by and look, and I can tell. I don't go and look in the window, but I can see that they have it nice. So there was a lot of people like that. Anyway, this okay. Darlene is her room is the dining room, which is there's no door between the dining. And then there's the kitchen. So that entire area is hers. So the several items that I had when she came in, you know, rice cookers and all this kind of stuff, they're up above, way up. You have to use a step ladder to, well, I don't, they're up there. And this item here, she doesn't want it in, well, I'm letting, it's a matter of, that's her area. She orders the food, the groceries in or whatever, and drives me crazy asking me constantly, what do I want? Should we get this? Should we get that? And I just want her to order it. Don't. And, but items like this are above. Now this one I keep down for corn on the cob, for baked potatoes, and corn on the cob, baked potatoes. What else? Oh, hard-boiled eggs. So I've been hooking up in my room here. So I was contacted by a company that wants me to review. Let's see, did I put that on here? It's coming today. Okay, it's not on here yet. So it's going to come today. I think what I'm going to do is make one of the groups here, make cooking stuff. I've only done that I think once, and that was with, and I forget what kind of, it wasn't a deep fryer or whatever, but it was years ago. I was living here by myself, and so the kitchen was spotless and everything, not because I'm so neat, it's just because it wasn't used, or if I did, now, wow. She just has everything, ex-wife and grown son, and she too is very frugal. So, like when I'm eating chips and dip, and I have a little refrigerator in here, one of those small ones. Can't get much in it, but now I wish I'd have actually got a full size one. But oh, okay. So she asked me, like, what do I want? And I'll say, okay, French onion dip and a couple of bags of French fries or potato chips. And she does it, that's on the list, Well, when I get down towards the bottom of the bag where there's just little tiny, pieces of chips, whatever, I give her the bag, and she puts it in. So, and she does, I've seen her like take the, well, I don't want, there's no chips in there, just, taking it. But anyway, the first review, I wonder what was that? Oh God, it's way back there, years ago, and I've got tamales from Brahms. They have tamales down there with a wrap around them or whatever, so I'd never cooked tamales, so I said, whatever, and then, I cooked them or whatever, and they came out great. But when they came out, I said, there's this, wrapper around them or whatever. I guess when I put them in, well, I guess you're supposed to leave them in this wrapper when you steam them or whatever it was. And then I had people tell me, no, you take that off. And I said, oh, okay, well, they tasted delicious. So, anyway, today or tomorrow or something, I'm going to order these phones to replace the ones that are broken. And if you can think of something, it doesn't have to be a Moto G stylus. I've had 2 of those, by the way. Actually, 3, I think. Oh, and this, I think I mentioned, and it's about 10 years ago, I purchased, okay, I think that's up on the shelf to be, no, it's in here to be tested, because all of a sudden, Darlene, anyways, her computer, what did I tell you? Okay, she lives, her bedroom and everything is a dining room. And the kitchen is, that's, I let her make all the decisions, and she wants, and they're half-open bags of candy and all kinds of, we have, the sink that has two sinks. She insisted, okay, one of the sinks, she has a plastic bag in there, whatever, and that's where she puts, some trash in there. Now I've got just a little further down, I bought a big thing that goes in the corner by the, the washing machine and the dryer. It goes there, and she can take her wheelchair right there and throw it, But no, she has to have the plastic bag in the sink, not the sink side that has the garbage disposal, but the other side. And luckily she usually does the dishes. I take them out of the dishwasher. I've sometimes put them in. I've washed stuff too before, like something I use. But the way I want to do things is, if there's a dirty dish or whatever, I want to be able to use both. I want to be able to, oh, I hate it with grease or whatever. Because we're using one, so if there's a dish that's all greasy or something like that, it gets stacked before, because maybe there's stuff in the dishwasher that I haven't taken out yet. And so they're stacked, and then somebody will put what would be a mess? They'll finish cooking, and then they'll put it on top of the dish that's in this one side, the garbage disposal side. They'll put it there, and then it leaks down all over all the other dishes that I, cleaned off before I, put them in the bottom of the sink. And then they're covered. And all these dishes, I have to take them out. Anyway. Oh yeah, this plays into the other, thing. So, with her computer, gosh, she doesn't want to learn anything except what she has to. She was selling stuff on eBay, a lot of stuff, for years. In fact, after we got our divorce, she was doing paintings, oil paintings, and she hadn't done anything in years and years in that regard. Her eyesight, and she's in a wheelchair, and all kinds of stuff. But she could do unbelievable paintings fast, and when we got divorced, then she started taking her artwork to the malls. You've probably been to malls before, and you see occasionally they have things, crafts, somebody that they'll have all crafts, or they'll have all paintings, they'll contact the people, and you can take your paintings up there and you can sell them up there or whatever. And she was doing that, and occasionally she would sell one. And of course we were divorced, and so I told her, you should be selling stuff on eBay or whatever. Well, I got my kids a computer so they could log in on my bulletin board system, and so they could keep in contact with me. This is back in the old days, so especially my two oldest, they were early people, because. But anyway, I bought the ex-wife. I don't think I had to go out and buy it. I think I just had all the stuff and set her up with a computer, and then she started doing stuff on the computer, and then she started selling. Then she was selling stuff big time on eBay. And two, though, what she did is she sold stuff cheap. And you were getting a good deal. She didn't try to charge, she sold it cheap or whatever. Anyway, she could really paint fast. It's just amazing that somebody could paint. In a few hours she had a painting or less, where other people you know. So, oh, anyway, okay. So with her computer, her computer desk there's just stuff, you know. God damn, how can how can you work with that disorganization, you know? How come? And there's things that are, I have arthritis really bad, and it's really hard for me to get stooped down and do kinds of stuff now, so in my own room I do it, and I have to do it in there sometimes. But there'll be cables, you know, that are coming off the desk that that they're not hooked up to anything, haven't been hooked up in years or whatever, and she's just working around this stuff. And, but, so, and I hooked, you know, and she was just happy with what she had. Of course, stuff that I gave her, computer stuff. But then, you know, I said, Dar, you know, I can give you I've got a bigger, monitor. No, this was just fine. Leave it alone. You know, finally I upgraded her, and it was like, oh my God, well, she didn't say, oh my God, but, wow, because she's having trouble seeing too, She had cataracts removed a long time ago. But, it was, of course, I had to keep a computer hooked, or a printer hooked up, a good one, when she was doing her eBay selling and stuff. But she just doesn't want to spend the time to learn how to do, and I had some things I did have to show her, like the pictures that go with eBay and that type of stuff. But anyway, finally her mouse broke or whatever, which I'd given her, and so no, I don't like that mouse. So I brought her up another mouse. No, I don't like that mouse. I want my old mouse, or whatever. So, but so finally I gave her a keyboard, I gave her a new keyboard, several. But anyway, over time, she got a big monitor, which now she loves. And I gave her a nice lighted keyboard or whatever that she loves now. But in the beginning, it's like, don't touch it, leave it alone. So when it came mouse time or whatever, I gave her, a good mouse. And like the mouse cable was just, oh God, how can you, it just, and I said, well, maybe a wireless mouse. No, and I said, just try it. So, gave her a wireless mouse, a nice one. And then she loved it, because there was no cable hooking on all the stuff that she has on her mail and all this kind of stuff. And so gave her a wireless mouse, and then the batteries died. And so, okay, well, they're so. And so then 2 or 3 days later, the batteries are dead. And I said, these batteries, they last for months. People wouldn't be buying a mouse, a wireless mouse that was going to last 3 days. And she says, it's 3 days. And I said, well, I'm not looking, because that's my son's old laptop computer that is hooked up. And she changes the resolutions on the screen. She's not doing it now, I don't think, because finally I gave her a big enough screen, I guess. But I could not go in there and, where's the menus, And she says, well, it's working okay for me. And the menus are off. You don't see them on the screen because she's made the thing so big that the menus are off. And I said, I'm not having anything to do with, with that. I'm not doing it. get our son to mess with it. I'm not doing it. But anyway, with the battery, all of them, and I have well, uh, 10 years ago, I bought the predecessor for this. Now they've got a new one. Well, they've had a new one for a long time, but anyway, a thing like this, it does everything. Charge, break in, discharge, analyze, all that kind of stuff. And I got all handfuls of, and she still says that the batteries, the AAA batteries, they only last 2 or 3 days. And I can't, So anyway, I'm not sure if this thing finally died. Oh, then she had to be in charge of, I said, okay, here's the battery charger. Take it out of my room, put it there. Here's how it works. And of course she didn't want to learn that, okay, when this thing pops up, when you see this, these 4 digits, that means that battery is dead. It goes, it goes to heaven. And she just didn't want to pay any attention to that. Anyway, all of a sudden, the batteries are not really working. Some of them are. And so I tried to talk to her about it. No. And then I think I might have figured out that, yeah, she wasn't paying any attention to which is kind of funny with this old thing. It was like H, a backward E, or whatever that was, or 4. Why didn't they just put bad or that? It must have been some type of a coding thing, and the people think, oh, wouldn't it be nice if the code that is entered when you hit a wrong URL pops up, or they must have decided to do that. But anyway, I had that thing and of course she had it for a year or so, or 2 years in there. Oh, I had to finally just, okay. Because I was charging up the batteries and taking them and putting it in a little box on her desk or whatever, and then she was like, so I said, I tell you what, you're going to be in charge of the batteries. And that was fine. She loved that. And anyway, I think the thing is broke, which I find it hard to believe. But I tried, but she's like, she needs her batteries or whatever. So what I'm going to do is, because this, let's see, did I bring that? I probably brought that in here, didn't I? I didn't leave it in there, that's for sure. Oh, it may be on the shelf in there. And so I'm going to get the new model of this, but it's going to be in here. Oh, I hooked her up again with now she's using it, she's okay with it. Well, at first she wasn't. Not a cordless mouse, but one that uses a cord. And I went in and plugged it in. And I don't like it. It doesn't feel right. It just doesn't, it doesn't do this and that. I said, okay, I will go get you another one. So I brought in another one. Not happy. It doesn't feel right. And of course, I was holding out, I use Logitech G Hero or whatever that number is, I can't read it. And I have another one of them because I've had in the past 2 or 3 computers hooked up at the same time. So I was, so she, no, it's just not right. It doesn't do this. And I said, okay, you don't leave me any choice. After like 5 or 6 mice, I said, okay, you leave me no choice. I'm going to have to bring in, the mouse that I like. And so I put it in, hooked it up. Okay, well, it's better, but not quite. I like the, oh, Jesus Christ, So I said, okay, wait a minute, because then it came to me, mouse pad. because she was wanting to do it on the desk. And I said, wait a minute, so I brought a mouse pad in. You know, no. And then I remembered that she had on the desk one of those things that I bought that came out that were a mouse pad, but it was charged into USB, and it would charge up anything you put on it. Well, not anything, but it would charge up your mouse through the pad, which wasn't, it was like a slicker, thing, like plastic. And so then I went and got her a pad. She said, well, I guess I can use it or whatever. And then I remembered when I cleared off her desk so I could put a mouse pad on there or whatever that she had. I don't even think she was actually using it, because stuff on her desk just stays, it's pushed to the edge. And it's mail from a year ago. I mean, just everything. And so this rechargeable thing was, I'd put it over there, and I went over, and then I saw that my son had cut the cable, USB cable that went into it, cut it off. But anyway, I put it there, and I said, maybe this is what you were using. And then she didn't know, whatever. She said, yeah, that's better. Not perfect like it was before. So I have ended up that I'm going to have the rechargeable things in here. I'm not sure if the other one is broke, although it shouldn't be. It should last forever. I guess a capacitor or something can go out on it, but I'm just going to go ahead and buy this and have it come in. How long have I been talking? Oh, an hour. Good grief. Okay. I didn't get to talk about what I wanted to talk about or show you what I wanted to show you, but I'm going to stop, upload this, and do some work around here.